Hi guys, how's it going? Happy Sunday to all of you. This is Tiffany here. Thank you for tuning in. I generally do update videos kind of talking about my progress and how I've been doing since I've been sleeved. But today I thought that I'd do something a little different for you guys. I figured I would put together a list of questions that are asked by followers and just people around the world that are interested in the weight loss surgery that I had, or in the bypass or the lap band. So I have a list of questions here that I'm going to go through, and hopefully I don't give you guys kind of like a generic answer. I hope that each answer that I give you is unique and can benefit you in some way. So not to waste any time, let's just get right into it. The first question that I have is, how did you know the sleeve was right for you? I get that question a lot from so many different people through Instagram, email, and I always answer that after going through the list of the surgeries that are available for weight loss, I felt the most comfortable with the vertical sleeve gastrectomy. I felt like that surgery was what would fit me best and my life and my lifestyle. I wasn't too much of a fan of the lap band, mainly because it was not permanent. It was temporary, and the idea of having to get it filled every few months was not ideal for me. I didn't want to have to go get it refilled. I didn't want to have any issues, and I know so many people who go from lap band to sleeve. I wanted to do one surgery once and for all. I wanted to get it right the first time. I didn't want to have to not succeed with the lap band and then have to go to or have to resort to something else. And the reason why I didn't choose the gastric bypass was because I was not much of a fan of having to kind of mess with my digestive tract. I don't know the logistics of it, but I know that they like mold your small or large intestines or something like that to your stomach, and I kind of wanted to keep all that separate. I didn't want to have to meddle with that, and I know that a lot of bypass patients deal with malabsorption. They deal with so many things afterwards. Not all, I don't want to say all of them, but most or some deal with some issues because of that surgery and the way it's done, and I didn't want to have to deal with that. So that left me with the gastric bypass, or that left me with the vertical sleeve gastrectomy. I felt the most comfortable with it. I liked the idea that my stomach was the only one that was being touched and cut. Everything else was left the same. It suited me best. I always give people this advice. Don't just take it from me. Do your own research. Like, it is imperative that you research each option, because you never know. You could be okay with the lap band, or you could be okay with the bypass or the sleeve. You know, it's up to you. It shouldn't be up to someone else. I'm just giving you why I chose it. If you have, if you're going back and forth, just do research. Do additional research until you feel at peace with one of the 3 or 4 that are out there for you. The next question is, will I need plastic surgery to remove excess skin? Most people have excess skin because they dramatically lose the weight. It's not required that you have plastic surgery. I personally would like to have plastic surgery because I do have saggy arms and I have saggy boobs. I don't want to have that as I just don't want to have that. I want to be able to know that every part of me is kind of, that all the fat is trimmed pretty much. And so you don't have to have it. There are people who have had the sleeve or the bypass and they were fortunate enough not to have needed to remove excess skin. I do think one of the biggest ways to remove excess one of the biggest ways to remove excess, or crap, what am I trying to say? One of the easiest ways to prevent having excess skin, there we go, my gosh, tongue twister, is to work out and tone your skin, tone your body early on. I failed to do that when I was sleeved. I didn't focus on the toning. I focused a lot on cardio, and I lifted very minimal weights. It was always cardio all the time for me. So that pretty much, I mean, the weight dropped quickly. The weight definitely dropped, and my skin sagged along with it. So my what I recommend is that you, if you're being sleeved, when you are given the green light to work out, you focus equally on cardio as well as strength and weight training. That is imperative in my opinion. Doing both equally will help your skin pull back. It will not sag as it would if you didn't do any weight or if you didn't do any weight training or strength training. And that'll save you that extra expense of having to get plastic surgery. So that's my piece on that. The next question is, can I drink alcohol after undergoing surgery? I did. I have had drinks many times. I don't have as many drinks because I'm just trying to kind of like not, I consider those empty calories. So it's like if I'm going to consume calories, I may as well consume something that's going to be good for me. But you can drink after having surgery. I believe, if I remember correctly, I had a drink, I'd say 2 or 3 months after surgery. That could be early for some people, but I felt like I was okay and could consume alcoholic beverages. And I think I just had like a small drink. It wasn't anything fancy. I didn't go overboard. I wasn't chugging anything down. I had one drink and it was all fine. And because our stomachs are smaller, we actually get, I guess, tipsy or drunk faster. So you don't even need to really overindulge because you feel a buzz, you feel good after 1 or 2 drinks. So, like I said, I did it 2 or 3 months after surgery and I've been fine. I can count on one hand how many times I've had an alcoholic drink. So I'm not a drinker by any means, but I don't think anyone should drink prior to 3 months. That's my personal opinion. How soon before I can go back to work? I do think that if you are deciding to have the surgery, you should take off at least 2 weeks from work so that you can have your surgery and you can recover without the stress of having to go back to work before you're actually feeling well enough. I I remember I had my surgery on like a Friday. It took about a week to a week and a half for me to really feel up to going to work. I didn't not feel good. I felt okay to work, but I just felt more comfortable knowing that I got as much rest as I could. So you can go back to work a week and a half to 2 weeks after having surgery. You shouldn't require anything more than that unless you had some type of complication or you had to be hospitalized after having had been sleeved. Um, how soon after surgery can I work out? And once I start working out, what do I do? Generally, all doctors recommend you work out between 5 and 6 weeks after surgery. That's what my doctor told me. That's what I hear most people are told. So I'm going to go with 5 to 6 weeks. When you do go into the gym, as I mentioned with the toning, you need to focus on cardio. You're not going to get into the gym 6 weeks out of surgery lifting 100-pound weights. That's not going to happen, okay? But you have to kind of start slow. I personally, 20 minutes ideal cardio every day, or whenever you do decide to exercise, 20 minutes is always what you should reach at. And if you work out more than 20 minutes, I mean, that's great, but anything less than 20 minutes doesn't really burn anything. You're not doing very much. So it's always 20 minutes or more of cardio, and then you can do another 20 to 30 minutes of weight or strength training with free weights or various machines that focus on specific parts of the body if you have a membership at a gym or something. So that's pretty much what that's about for the working out. For people who smoke out there, there's a lot of questions asking, will I be able to smoke after surgery? I'm not a smoker. I don't think you should smoke after surgery. I was told that it's actually not good for you at all because it affects your stomach. So you shouldn't smoke. I think smoking is one of those things you just leave behind you. It's like, I'm not a smoker, so I don't know what it feels like to be a smoker or to have to rely on cigarettes or whatever else you decide to smoke. I just think it's one of those things, you kind of left it at the operating table. Those bad habits, you left it there. Overeating, overindulging, I mean, this is part of the process. This is part of being a new you. Indulging in these things don't do you any good. I don't think they do you any good, and there's no sense in kind of going backwards. I do know that there are people who smoke, but I highly advise that you do not smoke. It's just you're on a new slope. You're on a new kick, a healthier kick, wanting to just be better. So it's like, don't bring bad habits into this new chapter of your life. Starting fresh means you're dropping everything and leaving it behind. Can you smoke? I'm sure you can. Should you smoke? No. Health-wise, it's not good for you anyway, but as far as the surgery is concerned, it's really not good for you. It can affect you. It may not affect you now, but it can affect you in the long run. So these are things to think about. Can I experience dumping like the bypassers do? Yes. I am a testament of the dumping syndrome as a sleever. I have dumped, I'd say 5 out of the 8 months that I have been sleeved. I haven't dumped in quite some time, but I remember dumping very early on in my process or my journey, because I remember the first dump I think I had, like the first dramatic one, was when I drank a Naked. If you guys are not familiar with Naked, it's like a smoothie. Like fruit juice, not fruit juice, but like a juicing thing, you know? They sell them everywhere. I think everyone knows about Naked. I had a Naked. I don't think I even drank half of it. That went straight down, and I had the worst gas pains. I was so sick to my stomach. It was the worst. I've had many, many scenarios like that, you know, where, and it's not like I'm necessarily eating something unhealthy. It's just something just didn't sit right with my sleeve. So I dumped badly. So it can happen. It doesn't happen to all sleevers. It's not as common in sleevers as it is in bypassers, but it is possible to be, you know, it is possible for you to dump as a sleever. It's possible. It's happened to me before. It's not pleasant, but it does go away. I don't dump as often as I used to. I actually haven't dumped in a while. So knock on wood. Watch me like have a bad episode tomorrow or something. So it's not something to be scared about. What are the restrictions after surgery? I think the main restriction is what you can eat and how much of it you can eat. There are things that I used to indulge in before surgery that I have yet to even try after surgery. Not only am I not interested in it, it's just like there's no point in going backwards. There are some things you kind of like I was saying before, you just leave it behind you. You kind of close that chapter of your life, move forward, and start off on a new journey. You know, you're starting off fresh. Like I said, those are to me the main restrictions: what you're eating and how much of it you're eating. Your stomach is definitely smaller, so you cannot consume the same amount of food. And a lot of people get sick that way. I remember kind of testing my sleeve to see how much I could eat, and that was the most uncomfortable feeling. Uncomfortable. I felt like the food was stuck right here. Not kidding. It was the worst feeling. So it's like, I had to push myself in order for me to notice these restrictions. So now I never have that feeling where I feel like the food is reaching above my head, you know, because I eat within my means. I know when I'm full. I know my signals. I know what foods trigger me and what foods kind of, you know, aren't just right. And I know what foods make my body feel good. So these are things you do learn along the way. These are things that, it's a live and learn. You live and you learn. You make discoveries, and that's how you're able to get to know your new body, because it's definitely different. It's the same on the outside, and you know, pretty much the same on the inside, except for that one small thing. And once you get to know your body, you'll notice that these restrictions are really not restrictions. They're just things you have to abide by. It's just like we live with rules every day. This is just a rule. You know how much you can push yourself, how much you can tolerate, how much you can take. So that's that. Can I prevent hair loss after surgery? No, you cannot prevent the hair loss. I was taking biotin for quite some time. I'm not the kind of person to want to stick to things. I don't stick to things. But I was taking biotin for quite some time, and I noticed I didn't really notice hair loss. I didn't notice, or not, I didn't notice. I didn't not notice hair loss. I mean, there was a lot of hair loss. I personally think it's good to take the biotin just to kind of prevent it from being worse as far, when your hair is falling out, but it's inevitable. It happens to all and most women. I think the hair loss stops at about 8 to 9 months. I'd say between 7 to 9 months. And I say this because I am noticing that I'm shedding less and less. I'm not finding clumps of hair in my brush or my comb when I'm combing, when I'm grooming myself. So, and I'm around the 8 to 9 month mark. So this is to me where your hair stops falling out. You've kind of lost the bulk of the weight. It's getting slower. The weight loss is getting slower, so it's gradual. So that's pretty much what is going on with that. I think it's inevitable. The hair loss will happen, and it is what it is. Take biotin. You just have to wait it out. The hair loss is going to happen, but it's going to stop as well. It's not going to happen forever and ever. It does stop. Your hair does regrow, and then you move on with your life. What are the risks of weight loss surgery? I think the risks, vomiting, leakage, blood clots, nutritional deficiencies, hernias. These are things that can happen. There's a slim chance that they may happen, but they can happen. I didn't focus on the negatives when I was going through the process. I was positive the whole time. I knew that these things could happen, but I was mainly positive. I stuck to what the surgery could do for me as opposed to what it could do to me, like negatively. I saw the life that I could finally have. I saw the good things that could come from it. I didn't harp too much on the negative, because then it would have freaked me out and I probably wouldn't have gone through with it. Will I have to take vitamins? Yes, you will have to take vitamins for the rest of your life. I take about 3 different types of vitamins. I take a multivitamin, I take B12, and I take calcium. All of them are gummies, so they're very easy to take. I don't ever go a day or more without taking my vitamins. I try to make it a point to take them because it's like, I don't want to be sick. I care enough about my body that I don't want to be sick from it. So I try to take vitamins. I highly recommend you just gummies. If you're not a pill popper, if you don't like to swallow pills, then the gummies are the way to go. They're easier to take, and I mean, they taste good. So it's like, it's a win-win. It's definitely a win-win. Can I eat whatever I want? In theory, you could eat whatever you want, but do you want to eat whatever you want? That's the question. I have had, I think, just about everything that I used to eat prior to surgery. The difference between then and now is that now I control myself. I stop at a couple as opposed to eating a box of cookies or a box of pizza. If I have a slice of pizza, I'll probably have half of a slice now and then eat the other half later. So I do indulge in just about everything, but I do it all in moderation. I focus mainly on the good things of my diet, eating protein-rich meals, protein-rich snacks, and if I feel like it's a cheat day or I kind of want to take a break from all the healthy eating, then I'll have something that I've probably been craving for a while. So it's a balance, and I think that's why I've been so successful, because I've balanced it out nicely. I don't overdo anything. I don't overdo it because not only do I feel sluggish, my weight, I kind of go up in weight. It may not be a dramatic amount or a drastic amount of weight increase, but I do go up in weight, and I just don't feel as good about myself. So I balance it. I do eat whatever I want, but I don't make that an everyday occasion. Will I keep losing weight and become too thin? I think a lot of people ask that question when they're reaching their goal and they're noticing that they're still dropping in a sick amount of weight. Between 0 to 18 months is when you lose the most weight. That's when the weight loss is dramatic. That's when it hits you hard. Between like 18 and 24 months, or 18 to 36 months, it does slow down, but I don't think anyone can lose too much weight. And when you get to the goal weight, it's all about maintenance. So you may not be eating what you used to eat to drop the weight in the first place. You kind of cut those kinds of things out of your diet. You kind of you put more things that'll stabilize your weight and to keep you at an even balance. So it's not possible to lose too much weight. In some cases it is, But once you notice that you're reaching goal or you've lost a little too much weight, then that's where you incorporate other meals, fatty meals, not fatty meals, but foods that are high in fat or something to kind of keep you leveled and stabilized. What will my lifestyle be like after surgery? I think your lifestyle is what you make it. You can either have a much better lifestyle, the lifestyle you think or you want to have, or you can be the same person you were prior to surgery, just much thinner. It's really up to you. I know that my lifestyle today is I do a lot of exercising. I do a lot of clean eating. I take care of my body more. I'm a little bit more social. I try to stay busy, stay active. I'm a lot more connected with who I am as a person. So that's my lifestyle. I don't go to every fast food joint that I drive by. These were things that were part of my lifestyle before. Now I'm a lot more dedicated to my body, my mind, and my soul, and just kind of being true to who I feel like I am now. So that's the lifestyle that I have. That's my lifestyle. I'm just keeping it like cool. It's casual. It's like, this is me. I'm not trying hard to be somebody else because I can actually stick to this. Like, this is who Tiffany is now. Tiffany's a clean eater. Tiffany does yoga. Tiffany goes to the gym 5 to 6 times a week. That's my lifestyle. So your lifestyle is what you make it. If you're having the surgery in order to change who you are, then change who you are and don't go back to the person you used to be. Be better, do better, and I think it'll all work out. Um, then my last question, what steps do I take to initiate the weight loss process? I didn't go through insurance, so I don't know very much about that, and that's why I didn't have questions about this. And a lot of those questions can be answered through the internet. I think the first step is to get the ball rolling. Visit your local doctor or visit your primary physician and talk to them about your interest in weight loss surgery. Once you do that, get your vitals taken care of. Find out, if you are at risk for um, anything, diabetes, heart conditions, heart disease, or anything like that. Find out what your BMI is. Okay, find out what your weight is, all this stuff, get yourself prepared, and then do as much research as you can. Find a good surgeon, find a local hospital that is going to do this. Are you going to do it, through insurance? Are you going to pay out of pocket? All of this stuff is required. So you want to initiate the process, do your research, jot down a few questions, take it to your primary physician, or if you don't have one, find one. If you don't want to find one, go to your local doc or hospital, and I believe they all have bariatric centers, so you can find some pamphlets, speak to someone in order to get the process underway. That's pretty much the easiest way to kind of get the ball rolling in order for you to hopefully be sleeved or have a bypass with a lap band. So that's pretty much it, guys. I think I've answered all my questions. Yeah, I have answered all my questions. I hope that this was informational. I hope that this was useful to some of you. I hope that I was able to answer them as accurately as possible. I picked those questions because I felt like those required a more personalized answer. And after having as much experience as I have, I felt like I was able to answer these honestly, truthfully, and from what I've gained from my journey. If you guys have any other questions, I do want to do more of these. If you have specific questions, please write me, leave me a comment. I will do another follow-up video if there are questions that I missed or if there's something that I hadn't even thought about. So write me, tell me what you guys think, and I hope this was once again useful and helpful to you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in again, and have a good evening, and hope you guys have a wonderful and productive week. Bye.